We're going to go right to the phones right now and talk to Jerry. Jerry, you are live.
I've got a daughter that's 9 years old. She's about 165 pounds, very active. But at certain times when she's studying, I have her tutor. She has some difficulty sometimes in school. She has a hard time focusing. Then other days, she's firing on all cylinders and she's smart as a tack. And I know it's got to be her food intake, and I know we're going to have to try to do something to clear that up and get some vitamins and some minerals to enhance her concentration.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're definitely on the right track there, and that makes you the smartest guy in today's class, Jerry, because you're very observant, right? Most parents they wouldn't even recognize the relationship. So there can be foods that this child is eating that she's allergic to, right? There can be foods that she's eating that she's intolerant to. And if you want to blow your mind, do a Google search for Dr. Doris Rapp, R-A-P-P, Dr. Doris Rapp. I'm not sure if she's still alive. I think she is, but she's an MD who did a groundbreaking work with food allergies in the behavioral disorders of children. And she's got hundreds of videos on her website that show perfectly normal little kids turning into beasts and, possessed children after they eat a certain food, like, a piece of tomato or a piece of bread. And then 10 minutes later, they're out of control. And that's the extreme of what's happening with your daughter, right? So if we put the wrong fuel in the tank, the engine's not going to work properly. And there's nothing wrong with the engine. It's just the wrong fuel. So one thing that you can do, besides expensive blood work, is just be mindful and keep notes. So the next time your daughter starts spacing out, you want to look to see and write down everything that she had to eat or drink immediately before she started spacing out. So if she starts to space out in the afternoon, look to see what she had for lunch. If she starts spacing out in the late morning, look to see what she had for breakfast, and so forth and so on. And you want to write everything down. And if it's a sandwich, you want to write everything that was on the sandwich, not just sandwich, right? Whole wheat bread, lettuce, tomato, salt, pepper, whatever. You want to write every single thing down. Now, if you do that 3 or 4 times, she spaces out on 3 days in a row or whatever, you'll be able to compare the notes, and by cross-referencing, you'll be able to extract potential foods that she's having trouble with. And then what I would do, the simplest thing to do, is just eliminate those foods from her diet completely, 100%. Don't even let her look at those foods again, okay? Now, in addition to that, you're right. We need to do 2 things here. We need to clean up the diet, make sure that the proper fuel is going down the hatch every day into the tank, and we also need to make sure that her body is supplied with all of the raw materials that it needs to function optimally. And one of the myths that we're suffering from, and it's killing us in the United States, is this false notion that it's possible magically somehow, just by eating from the 4 food groups, to secure all of the nutrition that the human body needs to stay healthy. You can't do that. It's a fool's errand. That is impossible. I can't fly. I just can't walk outside like Superman and fly, nor can I secure all of the nutrients that my body needs or your body needs or your daughter's body needs just by eating from the 4 food groups. So everybody has to supplement. So what we would do for your daughter initially as just fundamental boilerplate holistic nutrition, take the notes about the food that she's eating and extract the foods that are making her nutty. And when you give her those nutrients and remove the offending foods from her diet, she's going to be firing on all 16 cylinders all day long. Oh, one more thing. There are 10 foods that we recommend everybody stop eating, whether you're allergic to them or not, whether you have a reaction to them or not, because there are other reasons that these 10 foods are harmful to the human body.